A shocking statement from the American actor Arnold Schwarzenegger surprises Muslims after announcing his conversion to Islam, slapping Trump and Netanyahu. Watch what he said. But before we begin, if you agree with me that these fires are a wrath of God upon America, please like this video and subscribe to the channel to receive all our new updates. Since the fires broke out 2 weeks ago and up until now, flames continue to engulf the forests of California, devouring the green and dry lands in Los Angeles. Currently, the fires are burning the Hollywood Hills area, a symbol of the filmmaking industry in the United States. The fires are everywhere. Trump, who once threatened the Middle East with hell, now sees hell consuming his own country. The damages amount to billions, and Biden is no longer in the White House, having left humiliated after his term ended. American firefighting planes have become helpless before God's wrath. The Pentagon expresses concerns about the fires approaching nuclear storage facilities. Meanwhile, media reports estimate the destruction of 22,000 homes and buildings in California. Trump says the smell of death is everywhere, and the palaces of Gulf kings, including those of Mohammed bin Zayed and Mohammed bin Salman, are burning. Even the mansions of American movie stars, valued at millions of dollars, have turned to ashes in Los Angeles. The Pentagon states the fires are at the doorstep of nuclear storage facilities. The American actor Arnold Schwarzenegger, a former governor of California, has become the focus of American and international media after converting to Islam following the miracles he witnessed as a result of God's wrath upon Los Angeles and California. In his first public appearance, he said, "I was saved by a divine miracle from these fires. I believed the fires wouldn't reach my luxurious palace, which was built with reinforced concrete, bricks, and fire-resistant glass. Despite the California mayor's warnings to evacuate homes, I refused to leave my palace, thinking it would protect me from the fires. I carried on with my daily routine inside the palace, watching the fires on TV. But when night fell, and amidst the darkness and smoke, the fires devoured everything green and dry, burning all the palaces and houses around me. Then I became surrounded by flames on all sides, and my palace caught fire intensely. I called emergency services to rescue me as I was alone in the palace with my Muslim maid from Indonesia. I saw her reading the Quran, praying, and pleading with her Lord to save us from the fires. Despite her calm demeanor, I was terrified and thought I would die burning. Strangely, the Muslim maid remained steadfast, praying to her Lord and reading the Quran. She told me, "Don't be afraid, we will survive these fires." I asked her, "How will we survive when the fires are surrounding us from all sides?" She replied, "Wait, my Lord will protect me." Not long after, the fires that had engulfed my palace were extinguished without any intervention, and we came out safely without any burns. The Muslim maid said to me, "I told you we would survive by God's will." I asked her what she was reading in the Quran and what she was praying to God for. She said, "I was praying and saying this supplication that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us. O Allah, I seek refuge in you from falling from heights, being crushed, drowning and burning. I seek refuge in you from being overtaken by the devil at the time of death, from fleeing your path, and from being bitten." At that moment, my entire life changed. I reflected deeply on this miracle and how the Lord of this Muslim maid saved us. I asked her for a translated copy of the Quran in English and started reading it daily and for long periods to search for the truth. The greatest surprise was discovering that the Quran had not left anything major or minor unmentioned. I read about many miracles in the Quran, including God's punishment for the people of Ad, Noah, Lot, Pharaoh, Qarun, and Haman, and how God saved his house on earth in Surah Al-Fil. My previous misconceptions and unfounded beliefs about God were shattered, and my entire life changed. Actor Arnold Schwarzenegger confirms that he was not looking for a new religion, as he was content and happy with Christianity, or so he thought. However, the miracle he experienced caught his attention and intrigued his mind. He began to ask himself, are these fires a punishment from God upon the United States, or are they just natural phenomena, as scientists claim? He started questioning scientific claims and began searching for the truth independently. He wrote on the internet, "Does the Quran mention a connection between fire and hurricanes?" As he had witnessed a fiery tornado spreading the fires in Los Angeles. He found the verse in the Quran. Then it was struck by a whirlwind containing fire and burned down. Thus does Allah make clear to you His verses so that you may give thought. He continues, I am 76 years old and I've spent my life disobeying God. I was hostile to Islam, believing Muslims were extremists and terrorists, as depicted by Western media and Hollywood movies. Additionally, some intolerant actions by Muslims contributed to these negative impressions. In America, it is acceptable to be a Buddhist and be seen as peaceful, but being a Muslim is not an option. After the fires destroyed everything in California and the miracle of my survival, I wanted to learn more about Islam, but hesitated to visit a mosque and ask about it. However, I eventually mustered the courage to visit a mosque. I met the imam and told him, I want to be a Muslim now. He extended his hand and asked me to repeat the Shahada. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. After saying it, he declared, you are now a Muslim. That moment was the happiest in my life. I changed my name to Muhammad and now attend the mosque every day for prayer. I call upon all Americans to reflect on these fires and change their misconceptions about Islam. Islam is a religion of love and peace. Thousands of Americans have embraced Islam, and I am one of them. Praise be to Allah for the blessing of Islam. I ask all Muslims, especially those in Gaza, to forgive me for supporting Israel. I now consider myself your brother in Islam. God willing, I will visit Mecca soon to perform Umrah and seek forgiveness for my sins. Schwarzenegger continued, after I converted to Islam, I felt a peace I had never experienced before. It wasn't just a moment of emotional clarity, it was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a purpose I had never understood. The teachings of Islam gave me answers to questions I had carried my entire life. I realized how much I had misunderstood about this faith, largely because of the stereotypes perpetuated by Western media. What struck me most as I read the Quran was its emphasis on justice, compassion, and unity. It calls for fairness in dealings, kindness to neighbors, and the importance of family bonds. The more I read, the more I saw how Islam aligns with the values I've always respected but never knew were rooted in such divine wisdom. I began to understand that Islam is not about violence or extremism, as the media often portrays. Instead, it's about peace, mercy, and submission to the Creator. One of the most transformative moments for me was realizing the depth of Islamic charity and how it encourages believers to care for the less fortunate. I started contributing to humanitarian efforts, especially those aimed at helping displaced families in Gaza and rebuilding mosques in areas affected by natural disasters. I've also become more vocal about calling for tolerance and understanding between different religions and cultures. The miracle I experienced with the fires was a wake-up call, not just for me, but I believe for many others. I now see it as my mission to bridge gaps between communities and encourage more people to seek the truth for themselves, just as I did. For those who are skeptical or curious, I urge you to read the Quran, even if only once. Let the words speak to your heart, and you might find answers you never thought possible, just as I did. Islam has given me a renewed purpose, and I am committed to living my life in service to God and humanity. Finally, share your opinions in the comments about Arnold Schwarzenegger's conversion to Islam, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to receive our latest updates.